Welcome to the Mayfair Poet Universe, where poetry is power, where words don't just tell stories, they shape realities, challenge perspectives, and stir the soul. This is a space of elegance and rebellion, where timeless sophistication meets radical thought. Here, ink is a weapon. Verse is a revolution, and every syllable carries weight. Step into a universe where poetry transforms, where intellect meets emotion, spirituality meets social critique, and the personal is always political. Welcome to the Mayfair Poet Experience. So this first poem I wrote in response to the new American president, okay? And the first time he was elected, I was actually studying politics at the University of Exeter. I was vice president of Politics Society. We filmed, we had a screening of the election because we thought we were gonna see the first female president. We had a Trump pinata, we were so hyped, but then things took a turn and I ended up going to sleep at like 8 a.m. listening to Kendrick Lamar's We Gonna Be Alright. And here we are again. So this poem is called The Revolution of Broken Hearts. Trump is president again and I don't know where to start. From Sudan to Palestine, it feels like the world is falling apart. When the systems of oppression feel too strong to outsmart. How do we console the families of the activists who died of a broken heart? Do we whisper their name in the wind, let it carry through the streets? Or march until our voices break, or mourn in quiet retreats? The news is a relentless tide, each headline sharper than the last. History feels like a cruel circle, repeating moments from the past. But somewhere in the rubble, a child still dares to dream of skies without the shadow of drones, of rivers that run clean. And though hope and though despair clings to our skin like smoke that won't depart, hope ignites in the ashes, the revolution of broken hearts. For every activist silenced, 1,000 will rise and sing. Their voices will shatter through the silence and freedom will take wing. So let's hold each other close and let the breathing start. From pain, we'll forge a better future, the revolution of broken hearts. This next poem is called Decolonization is Not a Metaphor. What would one moment of genuine resistance look like to you? It's true. Resistance in our modern day takes many forms. Some are on the front lines creating storms. Some protest, pound the pavement and scream until their voices are heard. And some reshare information on their Instagram stories, but many say nothing, passively swallowing their own tongues as mothers lose their language. As no words can truly describe how deep her grief goes, and it shows in the eyes of those who have never known this violence. How quickly you can turn a blind eye to it, but we must admit that all these responses depend on how much privilege, proximity, and empathy we possess. And yes, this includes myself too, when I say, what would one moment of genuine resistance look like to you? For the dispossessed, stripped of their land, language, and religion, or do they need to look a lot more like you to help you make your decision? For the global majority, we carry the legacy of dispossessed people on our backs. The battles lost and won so that we can be here today, and I pray that humans finally go wise to the historical trappings of war. The cycles we repeat of subjugation, oppression, apartheid, deceit, the perpetual lie that vibrates through all global structures. That some lives are just more valuable than others, more worthy of a voice, more worthy of justice. The target changes, but the gun stays the same. The target changes, but the gun stays the same. The target changes, but the assassin evades blame once again as the puppet masters disguise themselves so cleverly as so eloquently which side to choose. Violence begets violence begets violence, which begets you, and your right to resist it. To reimagine a future where freedom and prosperity are not exclusive to the privileged few. So tell me, what would one moment of genuine resistance look like to you? Thank you. So this night is so special because it was around 2 years ago that I performed here, and it was the first time my sisters came to see me perform, and they're here today, and I'm headlining, so that's such a special, full-circle moment. This poetry night is such a staple in our community, and I'm so grateful to be a part of it. It's blessed me so much. And this next poem is called Kisses with Teeth. The first time you come close to what you think is love, he will say, you were the most beautiful, fully black person I've ever seen, and you wince and sleep. You wonder why compliments about black beauty so often come with claws and scratch your throat, making it hard to swallow, making it hard to speak. You don't say thank you. You don't say anything. You wonder why so many don't see beauty as synonymous with black, why so many lack the range to see the formlessness of beauty, how it can take shape in the hearts, minds, and bodies of all colours and cultures. But you know it's deeper than that. You think back to all the women who've been told that they're pretty despite being black, despite being so loved by the sun, kissed with melanated hues, you, a force to be reckoned with. Society makes a sport of putting black women down, because despite their best efforts, we continue to wear our crowns, we make a habit of winning and grinning in the face of oppression. And to be honest, I understand the obsession. Are people too bountiful, too abundant, and our expression is hard not to make you feel threatened. Because despite their best efforts, we make a habit of winning and swimming so gracefully through all that was made to drown us. This next poem is called Kaleidoscope. It was inspired by Whitney Houston and Bobby Brown's relationship, so trigger warning of substance abuse. This poem came to me in flow. I honestly don't know why I wrote about it, it just came to me, and it's one of my favorite poems. Loving you with this kaleidoscope view of haunting visions, misleading me and you, but caught up in the passions of the reds and blues, entranced by a mystery, and drowning in a history of powders, pills, and booze. Consciousness, in and out we fly, we swallow up weeks as we soar through the sky, and in my mind's eye, I see you, dancing in transition, flickering red and blue, a dizzying display as you multiply from 1 to 2 to an endless supply of this haze, filling my days with dreams and nightmares that torment when I crave my next ticket, soaring up high. Together, you and I will reinvent the meaning of floating through this life. Cheers to crashing countlessly from the great heights we saw, for I remember truly loving you was an emotional war. For my unwavering patriotism, I refuse to leave for as long as my lungs allow me to breathe, and for as long as my veins bleed blue. I'll continue loving you with this kaleidoscope view of haunting visions, misleading me and you to a grave uncertain but coming. Seasons change. you were my climate, I would bend and yield to you. When you were my sun, I would dress down for you. All skin, melanin, exposure, blanketed by whom I vacationed in your love. Until the season called for your coldness, I would grimace and enjoy your presence like a sore throat in recovery. The autumns of your indifference brought with it a kaleidoscope of mystery. As the leaves fell from our dreams unrealized, we marveled at the unsettling paradox that the beauty of our ideals may never be fully actualized, but the beauty remains unwavering, all the same. The winter of our love brought with it a necessary morning. As I purged you, heart and soul piercing through with icy precision, I allowed it to hurt. I gloried in the courage it took to brave your coldness, to endure until the last morsel of this visiting love melts away, bringing forth a spring of reflection, of clarity, as I meditated on all the reasons I had to leave, that no matter how hard I tried to adapt to your vicissitudes, your endless variations, I found myself staring perpetually at this ticket back to myself. For my heart is a tropical island, filled with dreams, beauty, and a warmth that shines until my rain comes down like a hot baptism, ready to cleanse and make new. And for now, maybe that's what I need. As I vacationed in your temperate maritime climate, it's time for this sojourning soldier to return home. Thank you. This next poem is a love poem, and I don't usually write love poems, but I am today. It's called Go Where You Are Loved. I wonder who it's about. In my journey to love, I was drawn to the mysterious. Paths filled with lovers who left me delirious. The love you and leave you types, beautiful and unserious. A canopy of trees covering their poisonous and imperious nature. Scarred, but still I hoped for greater. Hurt, I sought my healing from the Creator. Through this faith, I found favor, as Spirit's light led me away from the heartbreaker, letting this divine love become my equator. Within this warmth, I met the sweetest soul, the kind of man who embodies his role as a lover. It took me 26 years to discover a man that fills me with peace and clarity. With the divine, my love has so many similarities. Together, our life is filled with the kind of prosperity that dreams made of. An oasis of the warmest water. The kind of nourishment you find when you let God be the author. Thank you. Two more to go. This second to last one's penultimate poem. I wrote, this is the first poem I ever wrote for anyone, and it was for one of my best friends, Holly. I wrote for her birthday. We've been friends since we were like 11 years old, and she's always good. Love you. She's always here to support, and this is called Holly and the Halcyon. We dream of the stormless, of the carefree days of our youth, hoping ceaselessly that through the memory alone, its honeyed residue would drip into our present soul. But my prayer for you, in those tough times, those far from love times when your vision is clouded with despair, that hope entangles you, engraves a vision in you of golden days and enchanting nights, summers of splendor and autumns of delight, that through the coldest of winters, you never lose sight of the overall glimmer of this glorious, beautiful light. And this last poem is called Another Realized Dream. It's all about, being present in the moment, being grateful for what you have. So grateful for tonight, you coming to support and sharing your talents over tonight. So this is Another Realized Dream. The goal shifts as I do. That clear blue horizon your eyes have been glued on moves on as the sun sets on another realized dream. Keen to keep on grasping to the next goal that is asking for more of you, all of you, that quietly whispers from within to take in the magnitude of this present moment. Today I choose to listen to her, to count my blessings for the moments that were, that brought me here. Another realized dream. The hardships, the toil that seemed never ending. The peace of this moment is quietly mending. The brokenness, the battle scars that I've lived through, they are also glorious and make you you. So I invite you to join me in this basket, in the beauty, in the brokenness, and in the everlasting. For the Lord has blessed you with so much it seems to be here at the rear end